Whatever is stored up, it's the bounded to run out. And there is like kind of the ending. It is it is the truth. You can look this one is more explanation. The quotation is the page 34. And it says like the whatever is born is impermanent. It is the bound to die. Whatever is stored up is impermanent. It is bound to run out. Whatever comes together is the impermanent and is bounded to come apart. Whatever is builded is impermanent and is bounded to collapse. Whatever rises up in impermanent and is the bound to fall down. Like and this and whatever is the stored up is bound to run out. And like how it is. And a king might rule the whole world and still end up as the vagabond. And there's kind of the uncertainty, or it's like kind of the impermanent. Even if we can to look at this kind of situations, we told many things, the finally is running out. And also someone's like the ruler of the whole world, and sometimes like upside down, and to become the big like kind of the beggar, and the vagabond is like kind of the looks like Saddam, the Iraq's president. And sometimes it's like ruling the country, the owner of the country, and such is like most richest become the famous in this world. According to the impermanent, sometimes it's like become the very beggar and completely vagabond, and then they die in the prisoner. And this one is also demonstrated to us about the impermanent, and we are absolutely no need to mention it. And many start and their life surrounded by wealth, and it is striving to the death and having lost everything. Of course, in the above of our life, sometimes it's very rich. This is like obvious, this kind of his like truth stories, and rich, enormous, and has a lot of property, belonging, and servants. It's a very much like kind of the well-beings. But some is like situations changed, and then they are striving and dying by the hungers. This lost everything. This kind of situations absolutely in how many happened in this our world. And this is showing to us, it's demonstrating us about the impermanent. In this perspective, of course, we are the impermanent, and we need to hurry up to do something really the authentic Dharma, right, quickly. And also the people who had heard of the 100 of the animals, 1 year can be reduced to the beggary. The next by epidemic or the heavy snows. And sometimes it's like, of course, it is it's nomads and the countryside, and particularly some in Tibet or some other countries. Sometimes the nomads has such thousands of animals. They are looks like kind of the full of the livelihoods. It's like a necessary things. Thousand and thousand animals. They are looks like very rich. And sometimes there is a kind of the problems. It is like enemies, the epidemic, and also sometimes where there is maybe heavy snows. And once I remember, I was in Ando, and once years in the winter times, and like big snows came. Maybe some families look after 2,000-3,000 sheep. The end of the winter is almost nothing, no one's left. All died because no food. And then it's like sometimes this kind of reach certainly like impermanent. They are like kind of, they become very beggar, and there's nothing kind of, become the completely bounce. And someone who has rich and powerful only in the day before might certainly find himself asking for alms because his enemies have destroyed everything his own. It's this kind of, many kind of happened. And this is like kind of on the past. Maybe it's yesterday we can to say it's such rich and such is beautiful and it's wonderful, it's rich. But certainly it's become the completely power. Of course, enemies is maybe tangible animals, intangible animals. I would say intangible animals, maybe there is such element. Fire, water, earthquake, this kind of tangible maybe is like animal, like kind of the enemies, and robber, killer, and stolers, and they come and take everything, and lost everything, become the very strange things. It is really like sometimes according the our belongings, according the properties, even we lost our life. And today is like good, then is tomorrow something happened. This kind of many happened showing to us about the impermanent. And of course, it's like absolutely no need to mention we are impermanent. And before we reach the impermanent, we need to study, to practice authentic Dharma, and to develop compassion, something to prepare for the impermanent. And that all these like things happened is something you can see for yourself. This is really direct. You see many different things. Maybe we can to see, oh, this happened, this kind of happened. And why we need to learn, why we need to curiosity. We are not kind of curiosity, but we are giving education. We give ourselves this example. And this and that kind of happened. Myself, absolutely, I'm impermanent. What I need to do quickly something to study and to practice and to do some positive things. Something benefit for the impermanence. And also it is possible to hang on to your wealth and positions and forever. Sometimes it's like we collect it and we have such belonging things. And then it's like, may we think it is like my own position and forever. But it's like some circumstances, some and like conditions. Maybe it's like kind of you are not forever owners. Maybe it's like your properties, someone's to capture, someone's controlling, and you cannot control your own properties. And it's like, and in this perspective, never forget that generosities, it is the most important, make the capital to build up. What does that mean? The capital means it is like a kind of to do something, generosity, to generosity, and at least small things. And it's really, really such, and it's the benefit. For example, once I lost almost myself, I'm almost died. And then it's like, finally, what can I do? Then I make the talk, and it's like a kind of, I bought a lot of bread and to make and to powder, and then I offered kind of to the aunties, I was in the Jens's house. And it's like after the word, it's like something is recovered. Something and such like this. Sometimes it's maybe just like as much as we can say. Just Malaripa saying, it's like when you eating times, you can take a little bit out from your mouth and your meal you need to make the generosity. And it's necessary important to make the capital to build up. And this kind of, before we die, before the coming to the impermanent. And otherwise, maybe it's like, may we think, whatever I collected things, belongings, and properties, we all the time think, maybe it is for mine, but one day it is the showing, maybe someone's control, maybe it's like you cannot. For example, if we died, of course, then how we can to look after, how we can to carry, how we can to say it's mine. We need to, everything to leave behind. We need to go along. So this is already we studied. In this perspective, a little bit when we have the chance to some, it's like to make the capital build up the virtues through the generosity. No coming together can last forever. It will always end in the separation. It is the very, very important to concerning that. Of course, first sometimes coming together, but finally there is a kind of the separations. We are like inhabitants of the different place, gathering in the 1,000 and even 10,000, tens of thousands for a big market or in important religious festivals. And this kind of, when we look, maybe we don't need to say like this. Maybe go to the train station, airport, hospital, and some bus stations. 1,000 people coming and immediately disappeared. It is like this. Sometimes there is many countries, 1,000 people coming. One in this place is everybody can to see, but there's maybe hundreds countries, different people. But 1 second, they went to their own way. And like this, families, friends, and communities, of course, sometimes coming together, but it is impermanent. And then finally, it is like kind of separation. And only to part again as each return home. It's like coming together in the supermarket. Finally, they go their own home. And like this, it's like our families, parents, children, and relatives, families, and where their consciousness come from, we don't know, coming together, but of course, everybody is impermanent. They disappeared at once. Whatever affectionate relationships we now enjoy, teachers and disciples, masters and servants, patrons and their proteges, spiritual comrade, brothers and sisters, husband and wives. There is no way we can avoid being separated. In the end, there cannot even be sure that death or some other terrible event might not certainly part us right now. Of course, it is the truth. We have sometimes our families, we have very, very strong affectionate relationship. They love each other. Really is like so strong love each other. This kind of very much enjoyed. Some place teachers, disciples, I don't know, but like maybe some, yes, masters and servants. Also, it's like the patrons is like protectors and supporters and charities and kind of helpers. Also, the receiver of the protege, and like this object of which is needed to put patrons. and like this. And also it's like a spiritual, like comrades, like a kind of Dharma brothers, sisters. And maybe it's like you studied many years. You are like the same as the connection of your own brothers and sisters. And this kind of colleague, wonderful things, like a kind of comrades. And of course, it's brother and sisters, husband and wives. All these are finally, there is the separation. It's obvious when we talk or not talk. And it's just like you happy or not happy. Finally, there's in American Indians, it's like forever separation is. Like the same as maybe on our past, maybe our lover, our families, we don't know now where they are gone. Maybe it's like even we don't know names, even we are really how many kind of connections, like affectionate relationships. We forgot it. And like this is finally, we are like kind of go a different way. There's no choice, separated in the end. We cannot even be sure that death or some other terrible event might not suddenly. This is also true, the uncertainty of the impermanent. And also there's a hindrance, obstacles, and also very much strong sometimes. Uncertainty is coming, and then it's like it's something disappeared. And ourselves, family, others, and also this is impermanent. Absolutely, it's telling the truth. This kind of many happened. Now it's like we concern ourselves. I am the really impermanent. And before I'm going under the impermanent, I need to do something to really to like kind of practice authentic Dharma correctly, precisely, unmistakably, and to quickly to do that. And also since spiritual companions complete, and the fourth might be split up unexpectedly at any moment. And of course, it's like there's sometimes spiritual, like a Dharma or classmate or any kind of companions or the partners, couples, husband and wife, so on. Further might be split up unexpectedly. It is like a kind of certainly. We say it's unbelievable this kind of happens. Absolutely, it is truth. Sometimes it's like a big separation is like lost. Sometimes it's causing the disturbing emotions and separated. Maybe today is your good friend. Maybe today is your lover. And today is your really is like necessary things. But tomorrow will become the enemies. Maybe it's certainly go away, we lost. This kind of many happened. Any moment is like impermanent to losing. And in this perspective, I am also impermanent. I need to quickly to do something. Authentic Dharma, or it's like develop compassion and to do the virtue things. Had better avoid anger and the quarrels. It is the truth. In this perspective, it is like uncertainty. When is the coming? We don't know. Unexpectedly, there is impermanent is coming. And in that perspective, we need to avoid angry each other, quarreling each other, harsh word give each other, very become gentle, fighting each other, not necessarily. We never know how long we might be together. This is a wonderful thing. If we think like this, then we can to make happy our family. We can to have a good relationship to the others. It is it's like kind of the benefit, even the worldly. Even you don't want to follow the Dharma, it's the very best advice. And we need to think about impermanent. You become like this, wonderful. And therefore, I don't know now long we might be together. Today, if I'm to practice patience, compassion, and passion, or it's like kind of the generosity, and to concentrate, like to think about that, to develop wisdoms, how they need it. And through this kind of taking care to others, wonderful. And also we say it's like, now it is like heat, but how long we don't know, be together. So we should make up our mind to be caring and the affectionate for the short while that we have lived. And also to think the impermanent. We don't know how long we will to stay. And today is like kind of big decisions, big decided. And also this is like comes from the realization of the impermanent. To say, I'm impermanent, my family is impermanent, my brothers and sisters impermanent, and my spiritual, all the friends are the impermanent. And today I want to decide it. I decided I never fighting to them. I never give harsh word to them. I don't want to quarrel to them. I want to give my love. I want to give my kindness. I want to give them to about my cheerful minds. And because everybody is impermanent, what is happened tomorrow, we don't know like this. Then it's Patamba Songji. It is like Kamahila or the Patamba Songji says it's like this. Families are as the afflicting as the crowd on the market days. People of the Tengri don't bicker or the fight. This Tengri is like normally Tengri, but it's like this one place who is came to the Patamba Songji and the father of the Buddha. And these areas we call the Tengri. And then he give advice. All the Tengripa's families are the afflicting as a crowd on the markets, like a kind of market peoples. It's just coming together very shortly. The finally is anyway is like separations. And just a few hours to be together in the marketplace of the human beings and do not bicker or the fight. And it's not very good. And maybe we can just stop there. And that is she saying like this.